this difference between the observation and the expected energy of for dark energy has led people to create a theory of the multiverse where there are multiple different universes where this energy has different values. And what is now known as the anthropic principle, we just happen to be in the universe where the energy is of this value, but there are universes where there's this energy is on a spectrum and everything exists.
That, every time there's been a quantity that's inexplicable, people have come up with the anthropic argument. It's happened many times in the history of physics. And what often happens is finally we come with a fundamental theory that explains it, and people throw out the anthropic. The same may be true for dark energy, but right now it's the best explanation. And the first person who gave it in a clear form was the late Steven Weinberg, another mentor of mine, in some ways, certainly one of the greatest theoretical physicists of the last half of the 20th century. And he pointed out, before it was measured, to be fair, to give him fair, that if you assume this anthropic principle, then how large could a cosmological constant be? And it turns out if it was any larger than what we measure, then the universe, then galaxies wouldn't have formed, and planets wouldn't, stars wouldn't have formed, and people wouldn't have formed. So he said, if it's a random number, maybe it might be this big, and that's about as big as it is. So, if the energy of empty space were much bigger than what we measure, we wouldn't be around to ask the question. So it could be there are many universes, and in some of them the energy of empty space is much bigger. It could be a random variable with no fundamental significance. In those universes, well, at least life like us doesn't exist. Maybe other life forms could exist. Weinberg's argument has to be revised, and there's certain way. And when you revise it carefully, you might say it's not as compelling as it was when he first proposed it. But it's at this point, it's one of the best. It's the only perhaps explanation, since we have no fundamental physics explanation of the energy of empty space.